Alright guys, how's it going? It is Thursday, the 22nd of July, 2021, and you're watching KopTalk.tv in association with www.footballclubshares.com, where you can buy real shares in real football clubs. That's right. How are you doing, guys? We are right. So, I thought we'd catch up on this Jordan Henderson situation. What do you reckon, guys? I think I spoke about it on the KopTalk podcast the other day, but we can talk about it again on here. And, I don't know where to start, to be honest. First of all, I think the biggest issue for me, right, is that it's, can we call it pre-season? It's the summer, it's pre-season, whatever. We're going into a new season, a new campaign. And right now, as a supporter, I want to be, reading positive things, nice things. I want to be happy. I'm excited. We've come out of the Euros. I'm buzzed up because it was a great tournament. I'm looking for looking forward to the proper football now. The last thing I want to do is start to read negative things, which straight away spark debates about the owners, right? We've all got our opinions about the owners, but you know what happens, and then people, the fans, they start arguing. It's just just goes on and on and on. So the last thing you want right now is a distraction, in my opinion, a negative distraction. And I also think that, the first thing that comes to mind over something like this with me was, is that how you treat your captain? But we've been there before. But that's what I thought. Is that what you first skipper to, captain Liverpool to win? Anyway, so that's the first thing that comes to mind, right? Is that how things are going to be done? Does Jordan Henderson come across as a greedy guy to you? No, Jordan Henderson's not like that. But we're going to try not to criticise the club too much. We're going to try and give a balanced argument. So, first of all, so I'm not happy because it's negative news. I'm not happy because I feel like I don't think our skipper should be, any skipper of ours should be going through shit like this. And why are we reading about it? Right, so when you read about something to do with Liverpool Football Club, and I'm not talking about like idle speculation or fucking team talk or fucking Talk Sport or the Daily Star or something. These articles in relation to the current situation regarding contract negotiations were published at the same time by the usual suspects, right? The what I would call the credible Liverpool FC journalists. Therefore, it was dropped to them at the same time. Okay, and so straight away, that for me takes away the nonsense that some people will say when they'll say, "Oh, it's just the press trying to stir things up." No, it isn't. This isn't the Daily Star. This is credible Liverpool FC journalists all briefed about this, but by who? That's what you've got to ask yourself. So, who's doing that? Now, usually you would think, well, it's going to be the agent, innit? Because they're trying to get a new contract, and that puts pressure on the club, and it can help with negotiations and things like that, and also, it maybe generates some interest in the client, or because that's what usually happens when it's contract negotiations. It's usually the agent, or right, if it came from Liverpool, which is where I'm leaning towards at the minute, why would that be? See, that, in my eyes, that would be trying to generate a sale, trying to, generate interest, incite interest in your player. So we'll never know on that front. We won't know, will we? But certainly very, very suspicious how this news is out there. And apparently, Hendo isn't concerned about the reports that have come out. He's not angry. He's not like, he doesn't think anything negative's been written about him or anything like that. So he doesn't think that, sometimes when a player doesn't sign a new deal or, there's, delays and things like that, we all, as a fan or as fans, we would maybe go greedy, but, and I think that was maybe his concern, thinking, I hope the fans don't think I've got all these bits look on me, doesn't me heading? I have to start wearing a different colour. Pink. What was I going to say? Yeah, so, we would normally say, like, greedy bastards, sign the fucking blah, 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 right? Okay, so, but that's not the case. I don't think it's anything to do with that, right? So we've got to look at his age and stuff. I've got all these different articles open on my browser, and I probably won't even read stuff from them. So we know that he's 31 and he's got a couple of years remaining. And what I've noticed under this lot, right, is that age where a player is said to be past his best is getting younger and younger. Have you noticed that? So in the past, when I was growing up, right, it was probably like 34 sticks in my mind, 34 years of age or something like that. And then it's gone down over the years. And then before you know it, you've got like players that are 29, 28, and even us lot as fans, because our expectations are being managed, we'll see a player link that's 29 and we'll go, nah, too old. It's fucking ridiculous. So what I think that, I don't think it's anything to do with the conditioning or the the ability or performance of a player, because you've only got to look at James Milner to see how fit he is. And prior, people like Gary McAllister, right? And I think it's more about the policy at the club of passing that certain age where the resale value of a player plummets, or maybe there isn't one at all. And I think right now they're thinking, ooh, we could cash in on this. Now listen, if it sells and sell him and get a lot of money and it funds these other deals that we've been linked with, this is business. We have to evolve. This is why we don't have Ian Rush still playing for us anymore up front, and trust me, I wish he was. So there's all these little different factors. We know that he does have injury problems as well. But the thing is, the big thing here is Jordan Henderson wants to stay at Liverpool, right? He wants to stay at Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp wants him to stay at Liverpool. Now, there was an article published by The Athletic the other day, and I can see if I can find the bits for you. This is in the article. So this is James Pearce and David Ornstein. And this is maybe 3 days now, is it? I don't know, 19th? Yeah. So, if this was Klopp's... Oh, hang on a minute, let's go back a bit here. We'll go back a little bit further. The way in which Liverpool allowed Wijnaldum's contract to run down has alerted the market to the fact that Henderson could be available. Jurgen Klopp's admiration and loyalty to his captain, both as a player and a person, is unwavering. They have a close bond. Klopp credits him with fostering the spirit and unity that helped propel Liverpool to Champions League and Premier League glory. Klopp views Henderson as a role model who sets the standards every day. Bearing in mind, he's not just a captain on the field. The stuff that Jordan does in the background, with new signings, with the kids at the academy, stuff, incredible, just incredible. But he himself would say, I don't want to be, kept on at Liverpool just because I'm a good person to have around. He wants to be playing. He wants to be turning out the best performances as he can. And don't forget, do you remember when we used to call him Five? When I used to call him Five, yeah. So it's incredible how his career, he's matured and developed into a brilliant player. That we're even bothered. Do you know what I mean? So where was that? Klopp views him as a role model who sets the standards every day. If this was Klopp's call alone, then talks over an extension would have been a formality, and an agreement would already have been signed. Think about that statement there, guys. Think about that. That's your manager that wants that to happen. If this was Klopp's call alone, then talks over an extension would have been a formality and an agreement would have been signed. But Wijnaldum's exit underlined that the Liverpool manager doesn't have complete control when it comes to contracts. If he did, the Netherlands international would still be at Anfield because Klopp was desperate to keep him. Yes, Klopp has an input in the process, but ultimately the final say on financial matters rests with FSG President Mike Gordon and Edwards. Liverpool's ownership doesn't simply do whatever Klopp wants, and the manager accepts that as a healthy state of affairs. Anyway, it just said Wijnaldum knew how highly the boss rated him, but left because he didn't feel valued enough by the club itself. Wijnaldum didn't feel valued by the club. In this article, which I've read before, and I'm not going to waste my time reading it all to you and trying to find the bits, there's the references to Steven Gerrard's situations at Liverpool to do with contracts when he didn't feel wanted. This is your captain. I mean, this rubs off on everyone, not just the fans. This rubs off, on players in the squad, as Rafa would say. That's your captain, man. And I just don't think it's a good situation. So, Surely you make exceptions to the rule every now and then. You're not telling me that Jordan Henderson's trying it on and that he's a greedy player, all right? So, really, if you extend his contract by a further 2 years, and take him up to what, 35 or something like that, is he not worth it? Is he not worth it? I mean, I was good when Gerrard left. I think he was 34. I can't remember. But who knows? Anyway, so contract negotiations have not broken down. So that we have to remember that. They have not broken down. The club, as Rafa would say, are playing it all down. They're saying, no, it's just chill. They're trying to suggest that there's no way that they'll sell him. But I don't believe that. That doesn't mean I think it's going to happen. I just don't believe that really they're like going, oh no, we won't listen to bids. Because the Atletico Madrid interest and rumours, obviously, Henderson's good friends with Luis Suarez, it mentions it in the article here. And PSG linked with him as well. And obviously we're linked with the lad at Atletico as well, which I've just spoke about in my other video on here. I genuinely think that they're trying to move him out. I do think that. But hopefully it won't happen. Now, you've got to look at it from the club's point of view. I think if you listen to any of the credible journalists that focus on Liverpool Football Club in particular, they will say, I don't know what they'll say because I've forgotten what they will say. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was going to say now. That shit when it's my Alzheimer's, isn't it, kicking in? They will say, if you listen to the journalists, they will say, don't know what I was going to say. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm not stopping the video because if I stop the video and rewind it, it'll re-jog my memory. There's a very credible journalist who has written saying that there is a real possibility Jordan Henderson could leave this summer. If I call him Steven Gerrard, it's because I'm thinking about captains, right? Jordan Henderson. And he said that there's a real possibility he could leave this summer. I don't know. I don't know what will happen with this one. I'm hoping that he will stay. So anyway, I was trying to look at it from the club's point of view, right? I'm trying to look at the club's point of view. You got a player, that's a certain age, and the club seems more inclined or more focused on sorting other business out at the moment, which you can kind of understand. And you could argue, I've seen some fans say, well, hang on a minute, why does he need a new deal? He'll be 33, let him run his contract down and then let him go then. That's a possibility as well. But I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm a bit disappointed with it all. That's all. I'm a bit disappointed. You see, the thing is, and this is where we've got to be careful here. We don't know exactly what Henderson is requesting, so we don't know the ins and out. But I don't think there's any suggestion of greed there, and I think that people at the club would try and discredit if it was that case. I think they would try and make him look bad. But I spoke about this at length the other day in the last podcast episode I did. KopTalk podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, Google, Deezer. All these places. And I spoke about it at length the other day, and I can't remember exactly what, because I remember chewing it over, thinking, who's leaked this? Is it the agent? Is it the club? And these are the things I think about when I see stuff in the press, because I know when something's a leak. And if you think about it, really, journalists today that focus on Liverpool, they're not like journalists like back 23 years ago when I started KopTalk, when you'd get a journalist would get a scoop, it was brilliant, that doesn't happen anymore. Today they are briefed, and you'll see simultaneously they'll all run something more or less along the same line, but all at the same time, and that indicates, a leak. I'm sure you know that. I'm not patronising you, but just in case some people don't follow everything as much as all of us. So it was a leak, and I'm sort of like I'm thinking that it's from the club itself, which can only mean that they're trying to generate some interest. Maybe they're just trying to generate interest to just to see who steps up with and what kind of money they step up with. That would make sense. And if nobody does step up and offer anything that you think, hey, that's worth listening to, you then backtrack, don't you? Go, do you know what? We sorted it out. And he signs a contract. I'm not actually concerned about it. And at the end of the day, if Jordan Henderson was to leave Liverpool Football Club, then he leaves Liverpool Football Club. And I don't mean that in any disrespectful way. I just think, you know, I've seen fucking better players leave Liverpool Football Club. It's just not what I want to be hearing at the moment. I'm sure you, as a Liverpool fan right now, all you want to be hearing about is positive stuff, you know, moves in the market and stuff like that, you know, transfer acquisitions. Arsenal are the current favourites to sign him, according to the bookies. We've also seen Tottenham mentioned with him. Was it Tottenham? No, it wasn't Tottenham. Why am I thinking Tottenham? Because Pochettino, wasn't it, PSG? Yeah, sorry, I'm talking to myself. No, but Arsenal are said to be the favourites to secure his signature. Look, I don't know. I think I mean, my opinions change all the time, but I think if I had to draw an opinion today, I think I would say Liverpool leaked it just to see if there is any, you know, decent interest in him. That's what I think that is. And what's interesting is, and I mentioned this on the podcast, is within minutes of those articles appearing around the internet to do with you know, this contractual standoff or situation. I won't call it a standoff, you know, just the fact that it hasn't been inked yet, they haven't come to an agreement, is the Atletico Madrid interest was out there immediately. So normally you would think, during contract negotiations, if a player's not getting the contract he wants, the agent, the representative, leaks this. You know, they get that out there, they try to drum up some interest in their player, their client, to put the pressure on the club. Maybe, we better move now because his club's interested. And especially then if you see a club linked, you think, oh, that's the agent because he's been approached. So you would think this is the agent leaking it. The agent's also leaked that Atletico Madrid are interested in his client because he's trying to get better terms. 9 times out of 10 I would say that's the situation, and I don't think it is now. You know, I've thought about it all week, and I think it's the club trying to get some interest, because they'd be the ones that would also know about the Atletico Madrid interest, because they, of course, are trying to negotiate a deal for Saul Niguez, or however he pronounces it. You know what I'm like if it's not John Smith's or Jack Daniels, I can't pronounce it. So yeah, I think this is the club, but I don't necessarily think, guys, that fuck off. I don't actually think that necessarily think that he'll definitely go, but who knows? I don't know. The reason I was making the video really is to see what you guys think and to see what your reactions were at first and how you feel now. You know, do you feel any different about it? Do you think actually it's a bit of common sense? You know, he's not getting any younger. I just think it's the wrong thing. I don't want to be going to a new campaign, especially when it's hanging over the player's head. So you're going into a new season, you've got your captain, you know. Think about, right, listen, before a game, right, let's think of the conversations that take place at training anyway. The players always talk, oh, what's happening then, Jordan? Have you heard anything? This is what all they talk about all the time. Oh, well, I spoke to my agent, and this is happening, and that's how I've got a chance to go, all right, okay. Starts planting seeds in other people's head, I think. You know, and then on match day, you know, you've got the same conversations, but then with different people that work at the club and stuff like that. And then after the club, when they socialise and mingle, it's the same thing. You know, oh, what's happening? So it's all a distraction. And then the player leaves, you know, Anfield after the match or something, and then he's going home going, I was talking to, who was it earlier? And he was said, you know, and these sort of things are happening all the time. And I've seen that before with Liverpool in recent years, where a player is like, oh, what's going to happen with him? And I think it really does have an effect, because it also affects the manager, because then he's like, right, what are we going to do? I need a new skipper. I'm going to have to get a new player in. Who's coming in? You know, or have we already got him? And then the manager's getting stressed, because then he's doing his interviews. Any news on Jordan Henderson's contract situation? And he's like, for fuck's sake, you know, I want to talk about the game we're doing, and now you're bringing up this. It's not good. It's not good. And I really want to be critical of the. You know, sometimes I say owners, but this is senior management, really. But maybe you'll say this. It's the same thing there. I guess I don't know. I don't know if you can blame, you know, Henry and Werner or whatever for this. I don't know. But I look at the senior management and I just want to fucking kick off. But I don't know. I try to look at things in a balanced way, and from how everybody's looking at it. But you know, we've already lost Wijnaldum, and you know, he would have stayed. But, you know, maybe he was, I think he was maybe asking a bit too much. That's my opinion on that front. But it comes a point where you say, just give him it, doesn't it? Because some of you go, just pay it. But you can't be like that. So the club can't be like dicked around either. There has to be some middle ground, some common sense. And what annoys me, these players, they're already millionaires. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember Jamie Carragher? I remember Jamie Carragher when he extended one of his contracts. And they went, Jamie, he went, sorted in 5 minutes. And Jamie Carragher said that. Sorted in 5 minutes. Didn't even have to look at what was on the table. No, fuck no, I want to play for Liverpool. You see, and that's what's special when you get players like that. You know. You can only earn, you can only spend so much money, is something I say all the time. You know, you can earn hundreds of thousands a week or whatever, lucky bastards. But you can only spend so much money. That's how I look at it. And if Jordan Henderson isn't set up for life by now, there's something seriously wrong. You know, but we don't want to be negative of him, and I'm trying my best not to be negative of the club. I just want to summarise it in one thing and say it's not what I want to be hearing right now as we're about to go into a new season. So I hope they sort it out. I really welcome your opinions, guys, on this, because maybe you'll say, no, Dunk, he'll be 33. You know, let him leave on a free or something like that. Maybe that's what you'll think. Maybe that's right. You know, maybe he does have injury problems more so than other players. Maybe I don't know what your thoughts are on that. But, you know, who was it? I know I've seen various Liverpool players, you know, not happy about this, retired Liverpool players. And I think the one that you all want to know about is Jose Enrique, the former Liverpool defender. I'm sure you want to know what he has to say. And he said, I hope it doesn't happen the same that happened with Stevie G and Genie. As well, he's put Henderson is a legend of the club and still performing at the highest level. Players now with 32 or 33, they are still in their prime if they take care of themselves. And I'm telling you, Hendo does 100%. Let's see what happens, but if they don't renew his contract, it will be a massive mistake like it's been with Genie and Stevie before. And I would agree with that. And the fact he's saying 32 or 33 can still be in your prime. We've just got this thing at Liverpool, you know. We know that the manager himself likes to sign players around 23, 24, something like that, you know. There's something to work on that. And obviously maybe we're going to start getting to about 28. They may be, you know, expensive. But think about that. Think about that. So if we as fans, when we are being managed, right, with our expectations, right, if we look at a player that's 28, 29, what do we say? We go, that won't happen because they won't pay the money for it because you know it'd be expensive. So what's the reverse of that? That means if you've got players that are 29, for example, or you know above 29, 30, somewhere around there, 28, 29, 30, somewhere, what does that mean? That means they're your main assets probably. You know, I mean, of course you get players that are younger and exceptional, but what I mean is, a player at that age is at the top of the game, aren't they? They're at the top of the game. They're experienced. They're not going to get any better at that age, are they? Is what I'm trying to say. So if we won't buy players because they're too expensive, the flip of that is if you've got them players, then you can command top dollar for them. You see, and I'll leave it with you anyway. I hope it's not a too shitty, boring video. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I have done a video for the members of this channel today, and also the VIP, you know, people on the website, they can watch it on there as well. So yeah, if you want to support my channel, you know, hey, thumbs up, please. Drop me a comment. I read all the comments, and you know, you can join the channel as well. There should be a join button underneath. If you're on an Apple Mac or not an Apple Mac, an Apple device, you may have to use a web browser. It might not display to you. Or you can just join the members website, KopTalk.com. You'll see members on the front page, and you can watch all that extra shit on there, and listen to the extra podcast episodes, everything. I hope you're all okay. I'm going to sign off now, and I look forward to receiving your opinions on this situation. If there's anything that you'd like us to talk about, you know, please do drop a comment as well. You know, and suggest such. And also, just a shout out to the members of the channel and on the members website. Thanks for supporting me, guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.